Hello, my loves. So, this is going to be a little yap sesh because I just feel like I haven't yapped with y'all in a while. This will also be partly a channeled message, an extension of a video that I did on my Instagram just now that will be uploaded in a little bit. But yeah, I am here in an unknown state and I am chilling in the pool. I have been very low key about any details, mostly because just for privacy, and also because I don't feel ready to really explain everything yet. But I am in a situation where I think I also touched on this in the last video that I sold my car. I bought a plane ticket and I left my family household that was toxic, and I never came back. Well, haven't cometh back, and I don't plan on it because obviously it is not safe, spiritually or mentally. And I just truly believe that I came here for some reason. So I'll give y'all a little spiel. I was supposed to go to a different country before I actually ended up getting the plane ticket for where I am now. And I was going to, be happy, be chilling, be good. I was going to have access to food, a secure place to live in. I was going to be good. I was going to have my family around me, whatever. And I ended up changing my mind because Spirit drove me or guided me elsewhere. And I felt that the decision that I was going to make when it came to leaving the country to the place that I was going to go to the situation that I was going to go to, was one of just repeating another karmic cycle that I really wanted to break. I didn't want to continue doing this stuff anymore. And it's a part of that is knowing and also realizing that things become much more difficult when you have to rely completely on yourself with no prior help, with no obvious help, I guess, and also with no plan, like specifically a plan of knowing how you're going to take care of business, knowing how you're going to do things, but also being so unapologetic and surrendering to the divine, surrendering to just outside, like not outside, but your inner faith, and having that reflect to the other people around you in the world and the actions that you take moving forward. Knowing and having the perception or the ideas or the things that you've brought with yourself on this journey, and having that compared to how the world works, on how your connections with other people are affected, being able to test those things with others, and just having things come into a much a different perspective, you'd say. It's not been easy. It's not been easy whatsoever. It is a lot of, me feeling angry at the divine sometimes, me feeling unsure of whether or not I will make it, or I will get it, or I will be able to how to shelter myself for the night, or whatever it may be. And thanks to God, and I'm extremely grateful for the fact that I have been able to, I have this hotel room for one more night. And honestly, after that, I don't know where it is that I will go. I don't know what will happen. Honestly, every single day has looked completely different. And I want to be a little bit vulnerable with you guys because obviously I have to respect my own privacy, but I do want to be vulnerable and share with you guys that this has been the scariest and riskiest thing that I've ever done. I've never done anything like this before. I never went out and just said okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna go without any plan, and I don't know what I'm gonna do or how I'm gonna do it or how things are gonna work out, but they just have to. There is no other option or other than this working out for me, because there would be no other reason why I would be given this assignment or given this, I guess, idea to be guided here, and nothing ended up happening. There's been a lot of things that I have learned here. I have no idea whether or not this is the place that I'm meant to settle. I don't know if I'm meant to go anywhere else, but I've been truly trusting my own intuition for majority of the time. There's been times where I try to go off on my own and I try to think that I knew better for myself and trying to take care of business on my own. But obviously, I don't exactly know everything. I don't know everything that God has planned for me. I don't know everything that is what is the best for me or what is good for me, because truly Spirit knows what that is. My higher self knows what that is. And there's a difference between knowing that my higher self knows what it is that I deserve or I need or where I need to go or what I need to do. Like, I felt inclined to make a video today. That was something that I felt. And also differentiating that between what it is that my ego wants, because feeding my ego or feeding my survivalist mentality is what has been keeping it alive, keeping it, active, and keeping it from also being able to, I guess, guide or for me to act upon those urges and things like that, because they're not even urges that come from a space of calmness, a space of groundingness. And that's how I know that something is led from my intuition or something is led from the Spirit, is when it is grounded, when it is, calm, when it is intuitive, something that comes from, my belly. A lot of the times, the inner child wounds can manifest in your belly, manifest in the sacral, and usually when you have adverse reactions, such as you could say, I don't know, having stomach upsetness, having digestive complications, having butterflies in your stomach, having a tightness in your stomach. Those are indicators that your body does not feel safe. Your body does not feel like this, whatever it is that you're putting yourself through or whatever it is that you are trying to do is aligned and feels right and feels safe, or that it's going to turn out good for you. And I've tested this many different times where I've made decisions that came out of a state of where my stomach was feeling those things. I was feeling tight, I was feeling rushed, I was feeling anxious. And usually those nights didn't end up really turning out the best for me. Either nothing ended up happening, my time ended up getting wasted, I was in the wrong rooms around the wrong types of people, and obviously that was shown, and there's been a lot of people that have, still, I guess you could say, messed with me in a way. And it's funny because I got a reading before about people are going to be paying attention with what you're saying, make sure you're being careful and stuff, or people are going to be paying attention to what you're saying if you're talking about them, especially if it's from people from your past or karmic cycles or whatever it is, because they want to see what you're talking about about them, if you're talking trash about them, if you're revealing or exposing them. And honestly, I will expose a lot of people, almost everybody, that have done good, done bad, done wrong, done right, whatever it is, because at the end of the day, this is my platform, this is my home, this is my place for me to be able to express myself openly, for me to be able to share with y'all certain parts of my life that no other person really knows, because of the fact that this is a special space. This is for the collective, this is for the people that truly understand and truly can follow what I'm saying, that they can, they're here with me on this journey. And I know that a lot of y'all have watched my videos are also people that have encountered similar situations. And a part of that really includes, explaining and sharing stories and stuff about situations and people, so that not only are you guys more aware about the types of people and situations and things that you can encounter out here, but also for your own protection, for your own guidance. I'm here as a vessel from the divine, here to, relay messages. I'm here to channel messages. I'm here to provide advice, provide love and thoughts and guidance of upliftment, of peace and positivity. But I'm also going to be real with y'all too at the end of the day, because yes, the free life is a beautiful one, but not everything is going to be all peaches and cream. And it's been it's been really hard. It has been really hard. Sometimes I question whether or not this was a decision that was better than just staying in the situation that I was in before, where basically I felt like I was in a jail. And really, when I say it like that, it makes everything come into perspective a lot more. It makes things seem like obviously it wasn't that bad. Obviously, like I'm saying, like now, compared to now, things are a lot better in a way, you know? Because we have to really think about and question, what is security? What is security to us? What is a home? What is a family? We have to question all of these concepts and also kind of like conceptualize what they mean to us. What do we want to feel when we are in these spaces or in these structures? And how can we build that for ourselves, or how can we provide that for ourselves so that it's not coming from an external source? And that includes being my own family. Being my own family means that I have to, check in with myself. I have to stay connected to myself. I have to, not abandon myself. If I'm feeling a certain way, and if I'm especially feeling, my bad, y'all, I've been feeling a little sniffly. This air is dry out here. I've been like a little sick. I've been, trying to drink my teas and stuff. It's been hard. I also just came from my cycle not that long ago, and I'm just like, y'all, it's been rough. Like, it's basically when your body knows that they are in a safer place than they were before, even though it doesn't really feel like, to an outside person, it doesn't seem like what I'm doing or where I'm at is safe. But to me, I know that I am safe, truly. And my body is basically doing everything, exacerbating everything, expressing everything that it didn't get to when I was in that state of fight or flight, or when I was in that state of not being able to really relax and really decompress and surrender truly, because of the fact that I was always surrounded by toxic and negative energy, by evil eye, by people and families and, spaces that were draining my money, that were putting money blocks on me. And again, everything that happens in terms of, affecting your own life can be controlled in one way or another. But at the same time, you have to be aware of these things, of these attacks, and be able to make differences and make changes accordingly, depending on what that is. So, yes, you can control what is an attack or what is an evil eye, because you can protect yourself and you can make necessary actions. And sometimes that means that you have to cut everybody off. Sometimes that means that you have to literally run away. You have to run away and let go and remove a lot of things from your space and from yourself in order for you to be able to, in order to make space for things that are meant to enter your life, that are much better, that are more prolific, that are much more healing, and, a lot better for you, healthier. And sometimes, again, we don't exactly know what all these things are, but God will guide you to make the decisions in order to reach that place, in order for the things to make sense. And sometimes the things that you have to do in order to achieve that will not make any sense. Self-trust usually doesn't make sense at first until things start coming into alignment, things start coming into place. And it takes time for these things to happen. Something that I saw on somebody's story on Instagram was like, God said not yet, because God didn't want it to be around those people. God did not want to bless you when you were around those people. And so for me, I was like, okay, God. Like, okay, all right, I get it. I'm gonna leave it alone. Like, I'm gonna let it happen. I'm gonna let it be. I'm gonna let that person go. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna be by myself. You're gonna be like, shit, I'm here. I'm alone now. Like, okay, like, I'll do it. Like, I'll do whatever. Cause at this point, I'm just like, I'm frustrated. I am frustrated because I feel like I don't know exactly what I came here for. I don't know why. It was to the point where I felt so strongly to come here, and it feels like nothing has happened. And that's what it is going to feel like, because God wants to be quiet about these blessings and things that are coming into my life. But at the same time, oh, my bad. I don't know what's going on over there. But at the same time, like, it's like, damn, like, how much longer do I gotta wait? Like, bro. And it's like, it is cool and all because I'm in a pool and I'm chilling and the sun is beautiful and my skin is beautiful and my body is bodying. But at the same time, damn, like, I crave something that is something that I can't necessarily control right now. And that's the hardest part, to let that go. It's the hardest part to not let it go, like just not want it anymore and just, I guess, like, just be like, okay, forget it. We're just gonna forget about it. No, I mean more like you have to detach from the way that it comes in, because the way that it will come in is not in exactly a way that you'll expect it to, in a way that you may want it to at the beginning. And you'll know, and I guess I'll know exactly what that is when it comes in, even if it isn't right now, because it probably isn't going to be right now, right at this second. And I've had to accept that, even though there's things like, I don't know where I'm going to go tomorrow. I don't know, like, how much more time I have because I only have so much money in my bank account. I don't know, all these things. I have so many questions. I have so many thoughts. I have so many things. Like, just sometimes we just need to take a damn breath. We need to take a damn breath and just chill the fuck out, because if we believe and if we trust and if we surrender in God's plan and believe that God will show us the way, God will lead us to do what we got to do, and we will do what we got to do regardless of what happens, then all things will work out in our best favor, or in the way that provides for us in the best way possible. And there's another part of it is like, I know what my purpose is. I know what my assignment is of this world. And the next question is, how are you supposed to really figure that out? What does that look like? What will it manifest as? What am I supposed to be spending my time on? Because I haven't exactly had much of an innate and an aligned urge to really act on something specifically. Like, for example, doing all this work and doing this and doing that and going here and going there and doing all that. Like, I've been directed and really guided to rest a lot right now, and that's extremely confusing for me. And I know that the rest is for a reason, but again, it is confusing. And I guess I just have to just let it be confusing, because it's not like anything is going to change if I'm constantly trying to get in the way of my own success. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot of like balancing, a lot of, the dichotomy is just crazy. The dichotomy that I am, letting myself feel and, flow with is something that is really confusing. It's really, it feels backwards. Like, it almost feels illegal. And I think it's illegal in a capitalistic sense, because obviously a lot of people don't get to live their lives like this, and a lot of people will choose not to, because obviously there's a lot of risk that comes with it. There's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of, it's not for everybody. And for some reason, I still question sometimes, why did God put me on this path? Why? Like, why? Why me? Like, sometimes I feel like I don't know if I can handle it. But I have been handling it. So it's like, it's confusing. And I feel like sometimes I tend to say things that like I say, for example, I don't know if I can handle this. And then I literally handle it with flying colors. Or I still am here and I still am courageous. I still am pulling through. I'm still able to put a smile on my face. I'm still able to act like a little kid and play in the water and have fun and just be here. As much as I say that I can't do this, I can't do that, that is saying and putting limitations that are false, on yourself. And those are things that I have to unlearn. I have to, remind myself that those are not constructive, those are not helpful, and that is not going to bring me any closer to where I need to go. But I understand why they came into my head in the first place, because I wanted to one point in a time in my life, in some way, somewhere, some shape in my path, it helped me to survive. It protected me. And right now it's not going to help me. It's not going to protect me no more. The same thing how I outgrew weed. It was something that I was constantly trying to like prove, oh, like I can do this with weed, I can smoke, I can do this, I can do that, like I can do it and also do everything I want to do. And when things started not working out, when I started experiencing obstacles and all of that, it was to the point where it was just like, wait, I can't do this with weed. Not because it is a bad thing to smoke. It is not a bad thing, like it's detrimental, spiritually harmful. In the way, like, obviously, when it comes to, I guess, what would you call it? Like, perceiving things in a way, like habits and rituals and things that you do for self-care and stuff. Sometimes for some people, weed is not the way for you to really connect with yourself or align, and there's much more suitable and fitting ways for you to be able to align and connect with yourself. And for me, it had to include removing weed from my life, especially where I'm at now. It's like almost everybody and their mama smoke weed. I'm telling y'all, like, it's extremely hard to not, I guess, join in and bandwagon on that. And I feel like that's also part of why I was brought here, because I had to challenge myself to not, and also be a representation for those who don't want to smoke weed anymore, that it is possible. It is possible to experience and feel the way that I feel majority of my day. If I'm being intentional, if I'm thinking about it, I'm not overthinking or stressing, that I can experience all of those good things and feel even better than when you feel when you're high, just sober. Because I feel like that's the goal for a lot of people, that they want to not have to use drugs in order to cope with their current situations. They want to be able to be present and not have to, have a budget for all of these things, have a budget for drugs, have to do this, have to do that, not have to do something in order to feel comfortable in a public situation. Oh my Lord. And it's like, I know that I was also guided to quit weed so that I could show other people that that is possible, but damn, is it hard. Like, being accountable and keeping yourself like in check and keeping yourself in alignment with your goals. And I think for a lot of people it's called discipline, but for me, discipline has been something that has been a difficult word for me to really resonate with. So more I say self-love, or being determined to love myself the way that I deserve to, because love does not require for me to diminish myself through a substance, such as anything. It doesn't matter what it is, that I can come and present as myself, wholly as myself, presently and openly as myself, and I don't have to do anything in order to compensate for that. I don't have to do anything else on top of that. And for a lot of people, that's really difficult. That dives into a deeper, what would you call it? Like a deeper feeling or concept that they feel inadequate in themselves, and insecurity that they feel within themselves, that they're not able to do those things. And I am not like speaking on this like I'm better than other people because I don't smoke weed. That is not what I'm saying at all. Actually, I wish that I could smoke weed and do everything that I am doing, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And whenever I like actually transitioned to living a more holistic and healthy lifestyle, when it came to being vegan, when I added more plants into my diet, when it came to drinking juices, drinking teas, breathing, meditating, being outside, grounding, being in nature, all of those things provided a much more like overall benefit to my life, to my health, to my mind, to my spirit and my soul alignment, more than any substance or anything has ever done for me before. And that is the thing that I think is very important for me to just hold close to my heart, because it's like, to me, especially as I get older, health has become so much more important rather than trying to fit in reality. the party culture, I'm really over it. Like, I don't really care. I only like to go to places and parties that are fun, or that are actually around people that are not weird, that are not rude, that are not, not trying to be social and trying to act like their shit don't stink. Like, I don't like to go to parties where the music is trash either. Like, for some reason, the music has been a real hit or miss here, and I just never expected that to happen. Maybe it's because I don't know where the places are to go, but, and like, for real, the music has not been something that's super like, oh my gosh, this place has the best music ever. Like, I feel like I'm really bopping and stuff. Like, nah. And if you know me, you know me. Like, I love to dance. I'm a dancer. So if I go to a party and I can barely dance, or I'm like I'm trying to like keep the vibes up and the vibes are just not keeping it up, and I'm forcing myself practically to vibe, then that's a problem. That's there's something wrong with that. I don't know. Like, I'm not going to be clowning on nobody specific, but these DJs need a little bit more support out here. I'm telling y'all. So, it's been a while since I spoke with y'all. It feels really nice. As much as, being lonely and, not really having people on my side, or really having much of a community, or really like support that is actually beneficial, support that is actually sustainable and is helpful and is meaningful. It's been difficult, but I know that I've always had this channel and I've always had this platform to really just speak with y'all from my heart, to really communicate, to really share, to resonate. And as much as I wanted to get on myself for not uploading nothing and for being really inactive, I know that I have to be very patient and very kind to myself, and understand that if I didn't feel the inclination to make a video for whatever reason, and I didn't have the inclination to upload that said video, then that was for a reason. A part of all of this process is trusting that there's been a lot of inaction, there's been a lot of resting, there's been a lot of not really knowing and not really doing anything, and also like removing myself from people who could have gave me security. Again, not all security is good security, not all good places good help, or not all help is good help. And it's like like me having the self-love, the determination to self-love, to take myself out of situations where I could have been more stable, I could have had one less thing to worry about. I still made the decision to leave. I still made the decision to walk away, because not only did I trust my intuition, but I trusted that I knew that God would provide and replace that with something much better, much more suitable for me. And where I'm at right now is better than where I have been in the past. It's only been 3 nights, well, almost 3 nights here at this place, and honestly, whatever's going to happen after that, I have no idea. That's not for me to know. That's not more for me to figure out, for me to stress about or worry about. So today, if it is the last thing that I do, I am going to enjoy myself, I'm going to relax, and I'm going to breathe, and I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to chill, and I'm just going to let myself be held by the wind. I'm going to let myself be held by the trees. I'm going to let myself be held by this water right now. Been swimming like a little fish in here. And honestly, it's been very nice. It's been very nice. But I also know that I'm very angsty and I want more out of my life, which is okay. It's okay to want more. It's okay to feel like you are grateful and you're happy for the things that you have at this very moment, but also crave more and want to have more, and know that you are capable of achieving more, and know that more is out there is possible for you, and knowing that at the end of this process, which never really ends, but until my last breath, I have to remember what my why is and what I do all of this for, including YouTube. What do I do this for? And it truly is for you guys more than anything else. It does help me a lot, because obviously I have an outlet to speak to in order to help myself. This is like my therapy that I never had, because for some reason I keep therapizing myself every single time I get a therapist. So I just said, fuck that shit. I'm just going to therapize myself alone for free. And maybe I might get some money out of it. You know what I mean? Like, shoot, I don't know. But yeah, like, I'm telling y'all, I really can't wait for this platform and for me to grow with you guys, to see who else gets to be a part of this journey and how else we can grow, because it has been slow and it has been steady, but I do trust that everybody that does watch my videos, that is committed to my growth, that is, supporting me, those are the people that matter more than anything else, rather than all the numbers, rather than getting the milestones and getting this achievement and getting that. I truly am more grateful and more, I'm much more happy with spaces, people, and environments. I'm telling y'all, they just yelling out here. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I'm just more happy with the people who actually are genuine with me, And as, again, not everybody that is going to support you is going to be someone that that is going to be your best friend, that is going to be your partner or whatever it is, and I'm not saying like in a relationship sense, just like, just the people that you would expect or you would think that they would support you doesn't mean that at all. Sometimes your support comes from absolute strangers, and that's also held true many, many times. So look, I'm telling y'all, this shit is so backwards. Once you actually remove yourself from the matrix, I'm telling you guys, things get so much more confusing and fucked up. And the only thing that is important and crucial for us right now who are in this journey together is to ground as much as possible, is to connect to nature, is connect to earth, and really read your astrological chart. For me, it's very helpful for me to kind of read my astrological chart to be able to understand exactly why I act the way that I do, and also make actions in alignment to that, because of the fact that I've been really craving water. I've been really craving to be around the water, and I'm glad that I have, this body of water for me to flow around in and to do my little swimming and whatnot, because I need to. Being in water helps me and allows me to flow much better in terms of my thoughts, and it helps me to, I guess, find more clarity and find more peace in my current situation. I might not find every single answer, because I know not all the answers are meant for me to have right now, but I know that this is a step. This is a stepping stone in the right direction for where I need to be, to get me closer to my goals and my dreams and whatnot. You know what I mean? Y'all? I don't know if y'all could hear that when I was looking back, but it's okay. So, yeah. If you guys are in a similar situation, I truly urge you guys, as much as it is difficult, because it has been difficult for me too, please allow yourself to have some fun. If you're able to go out, go out. If you're able to go on a walk in the park, go on a walk in the park. If you are able to get a little ice cream or something, get a little ice cream. Just do what you can with what you have, because trust and believe, you maximizing the pleasure that you have on a daily basis. Oh my gosh, this shit keeps getting on my nerves and scaring the heck out of me. I'm gonna go soon, but yes, maximize your pleasure. These are the 3 goals and assignments for the day. Maximize your pleasure, be present, breathe, and really understand the intention behind the why. What are the the whys behind the actions that you are taking? Understand the whys and think about and feel more than anything else. Feel what you feel before you make a decision, because most of the time, the one that brings the most calmness and groundedness and would you say, it makes your body feel safe. Whatever makes your body feel safe, but it's going to provide some discomfort and some confusion and things like that when it comes to your brain and how your brain thinks about that situation, usually is the one that is more aligned. It's usually the decision that is more it will lead you in the direction that God wants you to go. Because there's no such thing as right or wrong, I would say. Because at the end of the day, everything always guides you back to where you're supposed to be. And that has reigned true a lot for me as well during this entire process. But ultimately, follow your intuition And if you feel like you don't think your intuition is strong, trust and believe your body is going to do exactly what it needs to do. Your body is going to guide you where you need to go. I was guided to the water, and now I'm here in the water, you know. I was guided to drink some water, and I drank some water. Like, you know, drink your water too. Make sure y'all drinking your water, because it's hot as hell out here. I needed to be hydrated and stay hydrated, whatever, all of that stuff, all that goodness. And maximize your pleasure. And for the last one, I would say make sure y'all paying attention to your dreams. I know that I've been writing mine down and they make absolutely no sense for me right now, but I know that they'll be important, or they'll make some sort of sense at some point. But just try to keep a little note of them. If you're writing them down, if you keep a little note, a little journal about them, that's important. And also take care of your health. Take your drink your herbs, eat your veggies, eat your fruits, and make sure that you're taking care of your womb, that you are resting properly and actually resting. And I need to tell myself this, because I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Make sure you get your rest. Make sure you relax. Make sure you breathe. Make sure you put your little toesies, your little dogs in some grass, because we all need that. All right, we all need it at the end of the day, because this world is going to make us go insane before we actually are able to change it if we don't take care of ourselves first. Amen. Amen. But yeah, that's really what I got for y'all today. I'm going to send you guys, I'm sending you guys so much love, so much peace, so much upliftment and encouragement for wherever you are, because I know that you can get through it, as I know that I can get through this. However, even though I have no idea how, I just believe and trust that I will. And keep going, keep igniting that fire underneath your butt. Go back to the why, as to why you made the decisions that you made. If you need to make any other changes in order for you to feel more in accommodation and alignment to what you need to do, even if that means having to let go of some things that you don't want to let go of, do what you got to do. Again, at the end of the day, because we come here with no money, we come here with no clothes, we come here with no belongings, and we leave with the same exact thing. So really, none of this shit matters at the end of the day. All that matters is your happiness, how you made other people feel, how did you feel, and the change that you did in this world. With nothing, with no dollar amount, with no material, with nothing. What did you do with your soul? That's what's most important. So explore that today if you can. I send you so much love. I send you peace, and I will come. I'm a come back with another video, y'all, which for you guys, giving you another update on everything that's going on, about how I'm feeling, about where I'm at, not physically, just mentally. And I'm sending you guys love, peace, and take care of yourselves. All right. Well, until the next time, y'all. Bye.